What's going on, guys? Top Rope Club here with your latest WWE news and rumors. From Penta's injury situation on Raw to backstage buzz about Jacob Fatu and updates on Joe Hendry's contract. There's a lot to cover, so let's jump right into it. So this past Monday on Raw, we saw Penta go up against Solo Sikoa in a quarterfinal match for the Last Time Is Now tournament. You know, the one to determine John Cena's final opponent before he retires. But things didn't go as planned. The match got cut short when Penta couldn't continue due to what looked like a shoulder injury. Solo was declared the winner by default, and here's what really went down behind the scenes. According to Bryan Alvarez from Wrestling Observer Live, that match was originally supposed to go about 12 minutes. But when it became clear that Penta was hurt, Wade Barrett on commentary called for a commercial break to give them time to assess the situation. When they came back from break, medical staff determined Penta couldn't keep going. And despite Penta wanting to push through and finish the match, they had to call it. The win went to Solo. Now here's the thing. Dave Meltzer and Alvarez both reported that Solo was always planned to win this match anyway. So while the injury changed how the match ended, it didn't actually change the outcome. Solo moves on to face Gunther in the semifinals. On the other side of the bracket, we've got Jey Uso taking on Rusev, and LA Knight facing an opponent that's yet to be announced since Sheamus had to be pulled from the tournament due to his own shoulder injury. Tough break for Penta, but hopefully he recovers quickly. Alright, so this next one is interesting. There's reportedly some serious momentum building backstage for Jacob Fatu. Dave Meltzer from the Wrestling Observer newsletter is reporting that people within WWE are, and I quote, very strongly pushing for Fatu to get a major run in the company. Now, if you've been watching, you know Fatu hasn't had a televised match since SummerSlam back in August. That's when he lost to Solo Sikoa in a steel cage match for the United States Championship. He was supposed to face Drew McIntyre on SmackDown back in October, but got attacked backstage, which pretty much wrote him off TV. Word is, that was a way to cover for an injury he's dealing with. And unfortunately, that injury could keep him out until sometime in 2026. But here's the silver lining. This time away actually gives Fatu some distance from his feud with Solo and the Bloodline. When he comes back, he can start fresh with a clean slate. And honestly, this report isn't surprising at all. From the moment Jacob Fatu debuted in June of 2024, WWE has presented him as a legitimate threat. The Samoan werewolf has been impressive every time he stepped in the ring, and his absence probably won't hurt his standing with fans. When he's healthy and ready to return, expect big things. Here's some good news for Joe Hendry fans. The former TNA World Champion isn't just a full-time WWE performer now, he's actually on a main roster contract. According to Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful Select, Hendry is making above the main roster minimum, even though he's primarily been performing on NXT. And honestly, this makes sense. Hendry already competed at WrestleMania, where he had a quick match with Randy Orton. He's also a proven merchandise seller and a social media star. WWE clearly sees value in him, and they're willing to pay him accordingly. It's only a matter of time before guys like current NXT champion Ricky Starks, North American champion Ethan Page, and former champ Obafemi all make the jump to Raw or SmackDown. When that happens, NXT will need to restock its top talent, and Joe Hendry figures to be one of those guys who steps up. Fans love his personality. He's got charisma for days, and his work throughout Europe, in TNA, and now in NXT has clearly earned him this payday. He's going to be a valuable asset for WWE, no matter what brand he's on. So Nick Hogan, son of the late Hulk Hogan, recently talked to TMZ Sports and left the door open about possibly getting into pro wrestling. He even shared some photos working out with NWA World Television Champion Bryan Idol. But according to Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful, WWE isn't interested. Apparently, the company hasn't seriously considered signing Nick since back in the 2010s, and even then, it was more of a what-if conversation than an actual plan. Now, WWE did bring Nick out on stage during the 10-bell salute for Hulk Hogan on Raw after his father passed away in July. He was also shown at ringside during SummerSlam, but that was more about honoring his dad than setting up a wrestling career for Nick. At 35 years old, the window for Nick to actually wrestle in WWE has pretty much closed. It just doesn't seem like it's in the cards. Last thing for today. There's been some talk about SmackDown's runtime lately. Bryan Alvarez reported on Wrestling Observer Live that after SmackDown recently went back to 3 hours on Friday nights, the plan is for the show to return to 2 hours after about 6 months. Look, 3-hour episodes of SmackDown were rough to sit through earlier this year. And let's be honest, the blue brand has been creatively lacking lately, so the fact that this won't be permanent is at least a small relief. The positive side of the 3-hour format is that it gives more roster members a chance to get on TV. Talent who might not normally make the 2-hour cut can get some spotlight. We saw that during the first 3-hour run. The SmackDown Tag Team division got a lot more weekly attention, and with guys like Carmelo Hayes re-emerging and Aleister Black on the rise, there's potential for the show to be better than it was before. So we'll see how it plays out over the next few months. And that's all the WWE news and rumors for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit subscribe for more from the Top Rope Club. See you in the next one.